Hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements. Before I start this video, I just want to apologize for the lack of videos that you would have received last week. Long story short, a member of my family got rushed into hospital with undergoing emergency surgery, so I had to fly out there and help him, and I didn't have my equipment to do the videos, so I couldn't publish any videos. However, I'm back now, so you can now expect daily videos. So I do apologize for any problems that may have caused. So in front of me is a Nasdaq 100 futures chart, and as you can see, this week we have had the worst week since the 2008 financial crisis. We have dropped around 14% along with Asian indices and European indices, and it's been one of the craziest weeks that I've ever traded. I did post a small signal on my previous video, which unfortunately hit the stop loss. So I do apologize for any losses for you guys, as we did break below the 50-day EMA. You know, I did put that stop loss when we were just trading just above that 50-day EMA. We did have a little bit of a bounce, and I put a stop loss just underneath it. However, that did not work out. But the reason I have kept that trade on the graph view is because now I kind of want to do a similar thing. We have now met the 200-day EMA, which is a very crucial moment for the Nasdaq 100, because if we do break below there, well, then that's a very bearish sign, and we will most probably go a lot lower. So the question you're probably asking is, when do we buy? When will this bottom? And the question is, I don't know. However, I'm going to use the 200-day EMA as an indication of a potential bottom. And as you can see, late on Friday, we did actually end the day in positive territory, up around 2%. And this is due to the fact we have found a bounce with the 200-day EMA. So right now, I'm just basically going to place a very similar trade. I'm now going to enter the market at around that 8,450 level. And I'm going to put a stop loss just underneath the bottom of the lows on Friday at around the 8,130 level. So I'll just make that red for you. And now I'm going to be targeting a profit. So my take profit will be placed just below the 50-day EMA, so around the 9,000 mark, as it is a psychological number. And that gives you a great 3-to-1 win to loss ratio. So that is a trade that you could potentially take at this moment in time. One thing I would be very careful of, though, is that although we do see bounces after huge sell-offs like this is a virus, and I still don't think that the worst is over. I still think that we will be seeing some big headlines, and I'm not confident in placing any big trades, because obviously there's great value to be found here. You know, it's like having a 15% discount in a store. So there is great value to be picked up here. However, you may see the Nasdaq 100 have a bounce this week, and then some more negative news comes out in the news, and it sends it a lot lower, which could potentially trigger the stop loss. So don't place any big trades of this small signal that I've just given you. You know, the key is during sell-offs and pullbacks in a market like this to trade with very small positions, especially if you're someone who's trading with a very small account, you know, anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000. I consider that as a very small account. So please do not trade with big lots, as you will get punished at moments like this. The key is to trade with very small lots, if trade at all. In terms of the RSI, as you can see, we are now in oversold territory, which is a bullish sign. We should see a bounce on Monday, back above the 30 level. So that is another reason why I think we could bounce towards that 9,000 level. Short term and long term, I'm still very bullish. My 2020 target is a 10,000 mark. We nearly got there last week. However, we have fallen just short. But I still believe that we will get there. It might just take some time. So what I'm also looking for right now in the news headlines is I'm looking for a vaccine to start getting tested on humans. I'm looking for the White House to come out with some positive news, basically to kind of calm down the panic which is happening around the world right now, and reassure that the people of America that they've got it under control, and that there's vaccines being tested right now, and They're very confident that these vaccines will work. This is the kind of news that I'm looking for now to then send this market back towards the highs of 9,750. Don't get me wrong, we're not going to get there this week. We might not get there next month. We might get there towards the end of the year. We might not even get there at all this year. However, this is a Nasdaq 100. It's very, very bullish, and in previous big pullbacks like this, we always do bounce back eventually. And buying with dips, this is a great example here. We had a very steep pullback here, and then we do always pull back eventually. And it's always really been the case with the Nasdaq 100, as it is extremely bullish. So if you own a stock portfolio right now and you're panicking and you're wondering whether to sell your trades, then my advice is don't hold on to them. They will rebound. I can guarantee it. They will rebound. The Nasdaq 100 always does it. And as I mentioned in previous videos, that buying with dips on the Nasdaq 100 is a very successful strategy. So all in all, I'm still bullish on the Nasdaq 100. My advice to you right now is to either sit on the sidelines or place this very small trade that I've given you here. But this is your key area of a 200-day EMA. If we fall back below here this week trading, then that is a very bearish sign, and then I will just sit on the sidelines once this stop loss is triggered. But if we do see a pullback back towards that 9,000 level, that's great. But don't be too invested in it, as some news headlines may knock the Nasdaq 100 back to fresh lows once getting to that area. So just be very careful, trade with small lots, and see how this one plays out. But just most important of all, look at the news headlines, because the number of new figures of cases of the virus is key to where it drives this market to next.